guys, June here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my 7 tips based on my personal experience, how to store and maintain your luxury handbag, how to properly lay out your luxury handbag. So I feel that there is a lot of misconception on how is the best way to store your luxury handbag and how to maintain them. But based on my personal experience, I find that these 7 tips is always helping me to keep my handbag in the check and always in a very good condition, and I really can't wait to share this experience with you. So if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, make sure that you subscribe and give me a like so you will be always notified whenever I post some video. So without further ado, let's go started with the first tip. Alright guys, so the first ever tip right here is to keep your handbag inside the dust bag but not inside the box. So I feel that this is the biggest misconception in here. For me previously, I also feel that the safest way or the best way to protect my handbag is to put it back to the box, to the hard case box, which is that was not the truth. The truth is if you put it inside the box, they might not able to breathe because it's made of a leather, so they might not be able to breathe and they might grow some fungus and something like that. Of course, it is also depending on where you are, where you are staying at, how is the weather in your house or in your country or something like that. But here in Singapore, it was very humid and hot, so if I'm storing my handbag inside the box, it might not be able to breathe enough, and soon or later it might peeling the skin, something like that. So it was not a very good way to store your handbag inside the box. So if you worried about dust or everything like that, you can just store it in the dust bag. And if you don't really have a lot of dust in your country or in your house, by all means you can also display them just like that, like in a display cabinet or something like that. But since here in Singapore there's a lot of dust everywhere, if I just put my bag outside and did not use it for maybe 2 weeks, it's already started collecting some dust. So I would prefer for me to just keep it inside the dust bag so it's well protected from the dust, but it's not going to peeling the skin of the handbag. Alright, the second tips right here is to stuff your handbag with some paper or in white clothing kind of clothes or something like that. Don't use a color clothing because I just worried that it might have color transfer. The safest way is always to store it with white t-shirt that you no longer use. You can just put it inside. The reason that you keep it stuff is to just maintain the shape of the bag. This kind of bag, which is a lambskin, it is very delicate, not as hard case as the maybe patent leather as well as the caviar leather. So for lambskin, you really have to stuff your bag very well. As you can see from my Chanel backpack right here, it was well maintained and well stuffed, so the shape and everything like that is still in 100% and the condition is just very good. I've been having this bag for I think almost 5 to 6 years right now, but yeah, it's still in very good condition based on the way I store them. Move on to my third tip, which is to lie down your bag, lie down it flat right this or like this, but you just don't hang them, especially when you do have a lot of stuff inside them, because it might spoil your handle or maybe your crossbody handle, because it might also stretch the leather and it might not good. It might just ruin everything or misshape it, which is not very good. As you can see right here, whenever I store my bag, it's always where there can just stand still like this, or they can just lay down flat like this, but just really don't store them where you hang them, because it might misshape the leather and something like that, and you don't want that to be happen. For my fourth tip right now is to give them some space in between. So if you're storing your handbag, don't just let them stick side by side or you just stick it like this. It is not a good way to store your handbag, because the humidity or the weather or something like that might do some causing crossing to the leather, and when they are stick together, it's just very hard for you to just separate them, and it might cause like you peeling off the leather or something like that. Especially if you have a pattern leather, please don't let it stick to other leather. It might become like a sticky plasticky. So if you are storing them, please give them a little bit of a space, or if you do not have really a space for each other, you can just put it inside the dust bag, and then you can just place them side by side. In that way, they are not directly sticking to each other, and it's not going to cause the leather to be stick together or just spoil the leather. Into my fifth point, which is to rotate the use of your handbag. Don't just use one bag and never use the other bag. When you store them too long, they might need some air to breathe for you to inspect them, and whenever you use them, you can just like have a quick look whether they have any defect, or if there's anything happen to the leather or something like that. Because the sooner you see anything happen to your handbag, or if there's anything like happen to the handbag, you can just easily remove it as soon as possible, rather than when you put it too long and you store it too long without even inspect it. When it's already in a very worse condition, you won't be able to take it out. So yes, I think that is a very good point to rotate your handbag and to frequently give them a check, like a very quick check. You don't have to like inspect them in a very detailed and deep whether or not the leather is scratched or everything. You just give them a quick look, as long as they don't have a fungus or they don't have any like marking, so they are good. On to my sixth point, which is to wipe clean your handbag with the microfiber cloth. Right here I have it from the Chanel one. Especially with my lambskin bag, I would love to just wipe them with the microfiber cloth, which is it's going to just clean them and make them shiny again with this microfiber cloth. But when I clean my pattern leather or when I clean my caviar leather, I would love to use my wipe, just normal baby wipe without any alcohol. It's just a water, so I quickly wipe it clean and I dry it immediately with some tissue paper. In that way, it's going to be very clean. I use this method couple of times and it's never failed me, but I will recommend you to use the microfiber cloth if you're wiping your lambskin leather, because they are much more delicate compared to the pattern leather as well as the caviar leather. So use the microfiber cloth, or if you are comfortable like me, I will use my baby wipes to wipe clean all my other bag after use, and I just immediately use the hand towel or a tissue paper to pat it dry immediately, so it's not going to have that kind of rainy or wet mark in the handbag. So last but not least, now is my seventh point. So the seventh point is to organize everything that is sharp inside another organizer or in a smaller bag inside your handbag. So don't just put your key, especially because they are very sharp, inside your handbag without any protection, or even your pen, because pen tend to be like the ink tend to be leaking or something like that, and you don't want to stain your handbag. So put your pen or your key or any sharp things inside another smaller organizer or smaller bag inside your handbags, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's just small things, but it really can well protect your handbag and it's not going to scratch. If it's already happened, it's very hard for you to clean inside the handbag because you don't really can like pour the water and wash it over, right? So it's really hard for you to do a dry cleaning like that, because in here Singapore, I don't really wanted to bring it to the dry cleaner for my handbag, because I just prefer to prevent anything to happen before it's really happened and I need to cure it. So I hope that makes sense for you. That is all for me, my 7 trips that is based on my experience, and it's been working well for me. My handbag is all in a very good condition, and if you already stay here until the end of this video, don't forget to give me a subscribe and a like, and I see you in my next video. Bye bye.